Hello everyone. Today we are gonna discuss about balancing a chemical reaction. Balancing a chemical reaction is really important for a chemistry as well as a engineering student. So today we are gonna learn how to balance a chemical reaction by solving an example. So let's say this is the reaction given to you where iron oxide react with carbon to give iron and carbon dioxide. So the equation can be written in this form. So as a first step, what will we do? We will go and assign a value or a variable to each of the compound. Let's say we will assign Fe2O3 a coefficient, let's say A, which will balance the Fe2O3 in a balance equation, and for carbon B, which will be the stoichiometric coefficient of carbon in a balanced equation. Similarly, C for Fe and D for CO2. So the balance equation in terms of variable looks like this. Now, the next important thing that we are gonna do to balance a chemical reaction is gonna do apply a mole balance. As we know, other than a chemical reaction, other than a nuclear reaction, in any chemical reaction, our number of atoms of any species or any element is gonna be constant. Only in a nuclear reaction, number of atoms gonna change. So in this case, we will first we will first apply the mole balance. But before going to that, here we can see we have a four variable A, B, C, D. So we need to make three equation to balance it. Similarly, if you have more component, let's say n number of compound, then you will require n minus 1 equation to balance the chemical equation. So from the first, if we do carbon mole balance, we can see 1 mole of carbon on the reactant side B into 1, and similarly in the product side compound, the atom of carbon is 1, so D into 1. So they for the mole balance in carbon, the whatever the moles of carbon is reacting should be go to the product. So B equal to D. This is the first equation we get. If we do iron mole balance in iron oxide, stoichiometric coefficient is A. So 2 times A will be the number of carbon atoms in the iron oxide. Now similarly, on the product side, there is a carbon atom. So to here we will get the number of carbon atoms on the product side is 2 into A, which will be equal to C on the product side. Similarly, doing oxygen balance, we get 3A equal to 2D. Now, to solve this, the next step will be now we will assume a variable value which will makes your calculation easy. So I will, in this case, I am going to assume D as a multiple of 3 because in the previous equation, the last equation, if you remember, D is going to divide by the value of 3. So I assume it as a 3. Hence by 1, A equal to 2 into D divided by 3. So 2 into 3 divided by 3 equal to 2. By 2, C equal to 2A. So C will be 4. And by 3, B equal to D equal to 3. So once I insert these value in the equation, so I will get a balance equation which will look like 2 Fe2O3 react with 3 mole of carbon producing 4 mole of iron oxide and 3 mole of carbon dioxide. So this is how we can balance a chemical reaction.